When the season wraps up, it's always kind of a little bit of a relief because you've done all that work all summer, and finally it's like, garden is finally dead. I can relax. I've been working hard all summer, but that's when it's time to really focus on the garden and get it ready for next year. And then we can take a break after that. So really in the fall is the best time to add organic matter, add nutrient, add a lot of amendments into your soil to make your garden better for next year, because Mother Nature works her magic throughout the winter time and breaks all that organic matter down. And so there's some very important steps we can do, and some tips and some techniques that we can really encourage that soil and that organic matter to break down and really build your soil up for next year. So one of the very first things that I do is make sure you use a variety of different materials. So don't use a lot of any one material, because that can cause problems. We use a variety of different materials. So this year I put a little bit of poultry compost on my garden, about half an inch to an inch over the entire garden. And then I add leaves and grass clippings, very readily available at my house. So I'll just mow the lawn and get those grass clippings, but I'll pick up all the leaves at the same time, and it chops all the leaves up, and I spread that over my garden. So that's another inch of leaves and grass clippings. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of straw. Sometimes I'll add a little bit of compost from the landfill. There's a lot of different options of different things you can put out there. Some people put ash, some people put wood shavings or sawdust. There's a lot of options. And the best thing to remember is if it's wet and green, kind of like manures and plant material, it's higher in nitrogen. If it is brown and dry, it's more on the carbon side. And really, to get that material to break down properly, we need about a 3 or a 4 to 1 ratio of nitrogen to carbon. And so we want, that 1 inch. If we're going to put 1 inch of composted manure out there, we need, 3 or 4 inches of another carbon-based material. That would be peat moss, straw, leaves, dried grass clippings, wood shavings, sawdust. Those are all high on the carbon side. And then as that decomposes through the winter time, and that's when Mother Nature works her magic, then it breaks all that organic matter down, turns it back into soil, loosens your soil up, lightens your soil up, makes it fluffy and nice. There's some things we can add to that to really help it break down. Number one, I use humic. Now, the humic is mined right from the ground. It is a natural material. It is full of minerals, micronutrients, and microorganisms that speed up that decomposition process. So those microorganisms that are in the humic, they will help break that organic matter down quicker, turn it back into soil faster than it would all by itself. So we're going to boost that soil with lots and lots of microbes and microorganisms to really break that organic matter down. If you really feel like your vegetables aren't tasting as great as they have in the past, another product I like to add is called azomite. Now, the azomite doesn't have a lot of the major nutrients in it, but it has lots and lots of minerals and micronutrients as well too. And if you think your vegetables have been a little flavorless, by adding minerals and micronutrients to your soil, it will make your vegetables taste a lot better. So every year or two, I'll add the azomite as well to my garden. Then there's some other great things you can use. Worm castings. Worm castings have just so much good biology in there. So this is basically composted worm poop, and the worms, as they go through the soil, they naturally aerate the soil, they loosen it up, and they put tons of good beneficial bacteria back into the soil. And so by adding worm castings, it will supercharge your soil, so your plants will just grow amazingly. And then this is one of the newer products. This is called biochar. Now, biochar is organic matter, like we've been discussing. It can be wood shavings, it can be dead plant material, just organic matter of some sort. What they do is they run that through a kiln, and they bake it, and they basically turn it into charcoal. But it's like charcoal, it's not just made out of wood, it's charcoal, it's made out of all kinds of organic material, and it's broken down much smaller, it's much finer. And what the biochar does is it creates this environment for all these beneficial microbes and microorganisms to thrive and to just go crazy. And they're the ones that speed up all that decomposition. They free up all the nutrient that makes it available to your plants. The biochar is amazing what it will do to your soil. So if you really need to recharge your soil and get it going again, between the biochar and some worm castings and some humate, a little bit of nitrogen to help break it all down, all that organic matter that you're spreading on there, you will have, hands down, the best garden that you've ever had before. But again, remember, the key is a variety of different materials. We don't want to use a lot of any one thing. We want to use a lot of different things that accumulate to 2, 3, or possibly even 4 inches of organic matter. Till that all into the garden in the fall. Don't wait till spring, do it in the fall, till it all in, and then by the next spring, all of it will have like decomposed, broken down, worked its way back into the soil. You can run the tiller through first thing in the spring, and you'll just have like amazing soil that you've never had before. So add some organic matter, add some ingredients to really boost your soil, and you're gonna have a great garden next year.